Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well this morning and that you slept well or you're doing well. The day is treating you kindly no matter what time of day it is. I hope. Let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us this morning. Thanks for being here, everybody. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy, what storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Well, we got somebody in an illusion, is in a tower. They're in a tower over your rebirth and your wealth and your beautiful love here. So yeah, they didn't want you to have that. And the devil is being restricted out of the earth angels energy. That is a no. That's like the end of a cycle. Devil will not be getting into the energy of the earth angel any longer. Okay, that's a nice way to start it. In the central energy, whoa, well, we've got a 9 of Swords. Somebody can't sleep. Somebody is not able to sleep. They're having a bad time. In the challenge position, the Star. They're challenged because you're shining brightly. You've been reborn. You've been resurrected. In the subconscious, the Queen of Cups. They meant to keep you buried. They wanted to keep you buried, but you know, God had other plans. And in the recent past, there we go. We got the 4 of Swords. So you could be making plans for your future. There's a renewal here. You're in recovery. Intentions, expectations. It was something happened real quick. Some kind of air travel, some kind of communication, telepathic, or you know, a computer or some kind of Wi-Fi thing. In the near future, we've got the 2 of Wands, making some decisions, leaving home, travel plans. The lens it's being looked through. You're maintaining control through your challenges in the environment. Queen of Wands, you're very determined. Very confident. Hopes and fears. Five of Pentacles. And the outgoing energy. The wheel turns. Wheel of Fortune. On the bottom of the deck, we've got managing multiple priorities here. You could be juggling work and love. Making investments. Somebody is disappointed because they're getting left behind out of this opportunity, because the research shows that they're a trickster thief. So, you know, Queen of Pentacles and knows the truth with the Ace of Swords. The King of Swords is here backing her up. He knows exactly what's going on. He's about the Empress and this public recognition and a homecoming. So, yeah, the Empress is coming home and the truth is known. And there's some public recognition here about some kind of victory due to her strength and this love of the Emperor, or love for the Emperor, or love with the Emperor. So the Emperor and the Empress are back together and the truth is known about that. Yeah, you got somebody trying to defend their beliefs against God regarding marriage connections, or, you know, but they're in regret and losing out because of the power of 3, because of all that magic that they did on this new beginning. So that's that. They're out. Tried to mess around with the Emperor and the Empress's connection, and, you know, that's just, God ain't having that. He's had enough. He's had enough of these tricksters messing around with other people's freaking love. Stop messing around with people's love, man. Just because you want wealth, well, guess what? You're getting nothing. You're not getting any wealth out of that. You're not going to get the love. You're not going to interfere in this love anymore. Yeah, because nobody cares how you feel about that, you know, because you're a jerk. You're in despair. You're having anxiety because this Queen of Cups gets to go love on her Emperor. This is crap, man. The Empress is free. She's rebirthed, renewed. And she's still loved. The answer is yes. So they're in despair because you're getting a yes answer and luck is on your side. They're in trauma. They're in trauma, Star. They're in trauma over your rejuvenation. They wanted you sick and sad forever. Isn't that just a lovely being? Wishing sickness and sadness and despair on people all the time. And now because it didn't work, they're in despair. Well, why don't they go focus on being love? I don't know. Why don't they just go focus on that? So they're feeling hopeless because luck is on your side. You're the star. You are the rejuvenator, the healer. We've got caution. So they're using caution, or they're challenged because you are being cautious. You know what they're all about now, and you're like, whoa, you're like protecting yourself. You're like, whoa, hey, you're gonna have to back off, man. So you got the Queen of Cups here. Yeah, they're in despair because the Queen of Cups has healed, and she's using caution. She's like, get out of my energy. Yeah, because they're not very nice. Oh, yeah. Moving. The Queen of Cups is moving. She's moving. Out of the energy, she's moving. And we got spy. So she's moving. Somebody may be trying to spy. Someone's got their eye out on you. Someone's watching very carefully. Luck is on your side. Someone's trying to spy to see where you go. These ones have been wanting to, or trying to use medication as a connector or a bridge to these timeline shifts. That has been ordered, a cease and desist. We're going to have to see how that works out because he won't back off. He won't stop. He simply won't obey the order. Four of Swords. Recuperation. Again, with that star energy, you have healed and you're using caution. You're like, you know that this particular realm is full of dead people needing to feed on her life. Okay, so you are resting and recuperating here. You're in recovery, and you're divorcing those confused sexuality folks. Like, you're not dealing with that anymore. You're divorcing right out of that confused sexuality. It's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with you. Take your freaking confusion about intimate, sacred union and go away, man, because nobody needs that freaking trash in their energy field. So we've got the 8 of Wands. There's air travel. Quick decisions are being made. There's a swift change. These third parties are getting divorced out of your energy. You don't need that confused sexuality trying to interfere with your eternal sacred love. And the horrible thing is, they feel they have a right to push in and mess things up for you. Why? Because you're the mother and you owe it to them. They feel that you owe them a decent life because you're the mother, you're the caregiver, you're the nurturer, and you owe them everything that you are. They're very, very selfish, very, very stingy, and very unworthy. Communicate. So there's some sort of swift communication, some kind of swift change. There's quick decisions being made. Somebody wants to compromise. They want to work it out. You're divorcing out of the third party confused sexuality. They're messing up the sacred intimate connections with all of this confusion and this wanton disregard for the sacred. So there's travel plans, leaving home. Again, travel plans. Yep, we're moving. There's the shifts happening. You might sense it in your energy. There's been a lot of things being shifted out. You're maintaining control and persevering here. Your defenses are up. You're protected. And they'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. You're protected, persevered, they'll be back. We've got Queen of Wands here, determination. She is using her intuition to navigate through these red flags. We've got the 5 of Pentacles and the hopes and fears. Some kind of financial loss, insecurity. And we're not dealing with a narcissist anymore. So, yeah, so we've got a narcissist here who is experiencing some insecurity because you're not going to collaborate with them anymore. No more collaboration with this brutalizer narcissist. Absolutely not. You're not going to take part in any of this goodness that the Queen of Cups, Emperor, Empress, Star has to offer. The wheel is turning on that. Absolutely cycle over. An inevitable fate, narcissist. They're in despair. Yeah, cycle over. The wheel is turning. One phase ends, another begins. We got fire sign, open your heart. Fire sign, open your heart. You might be manifesting a new pet. You might be manifesting a new pet. There might be some intimacy in your future. There could be a water sign that's being told to move on. They're taking a gamble, trying to get a honeymoon with an air sign, it looks like. But we've got a gold digger with health issues, and they're doing a love spell, trying to get a commitment, okay? But you are protected from this date night crop. The answer is no. Whatever love spell they're doing will be sent back to them. These guys are a real piece of work, I tell you. A real freaking manipulating piece of work. They have completely destroyed their reputation. They're foul. They're foul. Sneaky little whatever they are, narcissists, trying to manipulate the minds and the mental activity of others from a distance. They're spying on people. They're doing this witchery on them. And then they see if it's working, and then they move in for that kill, right? I mean, these people are sick. Stalking, sick suckers. We've got surrender. They got to surrender. Luck is on your side. So they're in a 9 of Swords because luck is on your side. They're having anxiety. They got to surrender their need to control you. They're in despair. Look, they did not grow. Luck is on your side. They did not grow in consciousness and awareness. The only thing they focused on was how to be more and more and more evil, more sneaky, more treacherous to pure loving beings in society. These are a threat to society because they're manipulating everybody from behind the scenes. They're trying to program everybody into relationships and deeds that they would not choose for themselves. They're driving people's lives into scenarios and circumstances they would never enter into without this narcissistic freaking POS interfering. So you're using caution, Star. You are the healer. You're using caution, and you're not messing around. Well, this came out and it kind of slid into the reverse. So you have no regrets. You're using caution. There's no regrets here. Queen of Cups is moving. She could be shifting timelines, making quantum leaps. Someone's got their eye on you. It could be that you're doing your research. Somebody might be trying to spy on where you're moving to. Maybe your guardian is clearing the way there. Blame. So yeah, somebody that wanted to blame you is spying on you. They want to still blame you for stuff. They haven't grown at all. They didn't focus on adding value to their soul. They only focused on stripping value out of yours, collective. So you're recuperating from this hogwash and you're divorcing these sexually confused narcissists. Yeah, they got to surrender their need to control you or any energy that's coming from people like you. They got to get the heck out of your energy. We've got, this is happening quickly. They're being cut out quickly. And they want to compromise. There's no compromise, man. You people are freaking dangerous. You cannot stay in this energy. You cause so much trauma and pain in the world. We got trust. Somebody wants to compromise. They want you to trust them, and maybe you're trusting your inner voice. You're accepting whatever the divine tells you to do. You got travel plans. You're moving on out of that. You're like, hey, I'm out of here, man. I'm moving away, and I'm moving away quickly. I'm trusting that inner voice of mine, and I'm out of here. And you got these confused sexual narcissists wanting to hold on to your womb energy. You know, I mean, it's just a couple of guys who don't have a womb who need that energy so that they can continue living their illusion that somebody actually has woman's energy. We've got grief in the reverse. You're not sad about this at all. You're leaving it behind. You're maintaining control. You're persevering through this stupid challenge. And it's like, expect to hear from them soon. They'll be back. We've got worry in the reverse. There's nothing to worry about. It could be that you're going back wherever it is you came from. Because right now you're in the valley of the shadow of death, but you're moving out. The love of divine feminine, she's being resurrected and lifted out of this valley. Queen of Wands is determined to live her life. She's using her intuition to avoid challenging situations. She's very courageous. She's determined, man, to cut out this narcissist. This narcissist is in a 5 of Pentacles because she's refusing to deal with him. She's like, no, absolutely not. And it could be masculine, feminine. Please do what you need to do with the energies, because I was attacked by a feminine narcissist the other day, accusing me of doing something, prying and scrying. Now, mind you, I'm not prying into anybody's life. I am part of the collective, just like anybody, and as far as I know, this could be my read. So please just be gentle. We are all here, and if the story is yours, go ahead and accept it. If it's not, don't make it fit. And Don't attack me as though I'm stealing your story, because I'm the one reading the cards. I'm part of the collective. I'm doing the work, and I'm just sharing this story with you because I'm hoping that maybe it will settle any kind of chaos that's in your life, you know? Encourage you that this narcissist isn't going to be messing around on the foundation much longer. Okay? So they're insecure. They're feeling insecure right now because you're not dealing with the damn narcissist. And look, they don't have telepathic communication with you anymore. God has cut them right out of the collective field because they're so abusive. They've been mentally RAPing people, and it's not okay. The wheel is turning here, and we've got cycles. So we've got 2 wheels here. And you're successful. Yep, the cycle is ending and it's beginning again successfully for those people who know that there's no greater goal than to love. And those who are guilty here, some people are guilty trying to, so we got guilty. Somebody's guilty. This says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So you're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. And you are releasing the beliefs that no longer assist in soul's growth. You're releasing those who are guilty of trying to affect the health of relationships that serve the higher good. Those beings that are limitless, abundant beings, they were trying to affect the health of them. And now there's acceptance here, and they're having doubt because the truth is you are perfectly balanced and harmonized, and that's the energy that you bring to your environment. And you're empathetic. You have feelings. You can feel still. These people can't feel. They cannot feel. Like they have no love. All they have is this devious, pretend, sickening sweetness, of perfect, proper, godly people, but they're out there accusing others of doing what they're not doing, and then turning around and complimenting them, mind twisting people. And it's like, you know what? No, they're gonna get cut right the fuck out. Excuse my language, because we're not dealing with no freaking narcissist coming in trying to twist the mental body of people in this new cycle. It's not gonna happen. You will be recognized, and you will be called. Judgment will be called on you. No more mind effing people. That's ridiculous behavior, and there's no value in it. It's disgraceful. The children deserve better. They deserve an environment that they can grow up in without being mind effed and twisted into some stupid, idiotic behavior such as confused sexuality in the future. Leave the children alone with your idiocy. Because they possess gifts of the soul that benefit others and themselves. And there's a change here for them. Because we're being denied. There's a denial of friendship of these narcissists because we're here in purpose. And these guys are afraid. They want forgiveness and they don't know what to do because this is the end of their ability to bring adversity to the minds of people who are here in purpose to serve the relationships that are serving the higher and greater good for humanity. Adversity is dead. Have some patience, focus on your happiness, focus on peace while this negativity is being released, and remain grateful and thankful. Because these ones envy your ability to serve people. They wanted the material wealth that you utilized to help others, and then they wanted to just run around and pretend that they were, sweet and special without helping anybody at all. But, they envy the fact that you are helping people. You persevered through their stupid ass challenges, and they have failed to move against you with their confusion. That's what they like to birth into the world. Confusion and betrayal. And that's all they're good for. They take the sacred of this beautiful, sacred connection, and they twist it, flip it, and turn it into this disgusting, methodology of stealing from people. They use sex and words of love to steal from people. It's foul, man. They take the sacred connection and they use it as a weapon to steal. It's so sick. They twist that sacred connection into some foul freaking betrayal. They're overwhelmed, stressed out. They did not grow. They can't manage themselves. They have no tools. They didn't develop anything worthwhile. All they did was focus on how much they hate you. And they're overwhelmed and in despair because luck is on your side. They didn't grow. They chose to be cruel, bitter, childish, confused deviancy that had no honor for the sacred connection of this beautiful energy. They're foul. They wanted to foul everything. So you've got this star here. You're the healer. You're the rejuvenator. And you're using caution. It's like, you know what these guys are doing. They didn't grow. They need to attach to you and download their karmic debt because they can't process anything. They don't know how to deal with their shadow. They would rather project it onto others. You have no regrets about holding back. You have no regrets about holding back. These people have abused your light and your life long enough, and you're done. You're moving away from them, Queen of Cups. You're no longer going to nurture these people who just vomited and shat on sacred connection, these intimate sacred connections. Nope. Get that. I mean, you don't want your daughters or your sons dealing with this kind of crap. They deserve better. And as the adult or as the first generation of this new cycle, it's up to you to clear the foundation of any dangerous, confused, kind of twisted crap that might affect the 7th generation, right? You got to get it out of here. It's a serious business. It's very serious business. The children deserve better than confused masculines running around out here who don't know what they want to do about their sexuality. So they're having sex with women, having sex with men, having sex with children, having sex with animals. They don't give a crap. It's a harvest. So you're moving out of here, Queen of Cups, and somebody's got their eye on you. They're spying on you. It could be that there's a spy trying to blame you for stuff. And they're trying to figure out where you're going, what you're doing, but they cannot separate you from the love that you have coming to you or the love that is flowing in you, regardless of this foul, deviant, confused sexuality, this vile, putrid destruction of this sacred connection. They cannot separate you from love. Even in their most foul efforts, they cannot do it. And you're moving away from them. You're going to recover and renew from this in your star energy. You're divorcing out of these confused sexual deviants. You're out of there. They got to surrender their need to control your sexuality. They got to get out. They're sick. I mean, it's one thing to go love who you want to love, but it's another thing to play games with sexuality, calling it love with the intention to put them in the grave. It's sick. It can't continue. We've got time. It's too late for them to take any action. They got to surrender. They got to surrender this, and they better do it quickly. They want to compromise. They want you to forgive them, but you're following the inner voice, the voice you trust, the voice of the divine. They didn't appreciate you. They did not appreciate you in the slightest. You trust the inner voice. They did not appreciate you. They didn't care one bit about you. So you're traveling with the 2 of Wands and the vacation. and the vacation. You're out of here, and you have no grief about it. You have no regrets about holding back your star energy or your love. You have no regrets whatsoever, because you tried. As far as I can see, humanity has tried for centuries to download or uplift them with the love that you embody. And they just took that sacred, intimate connection and dragged you down into their lustful, greedy, needy, selfish crap. You deserve better than that. And so does your 7th generation. You deserve better than that. We've got running. So there's no grief. There's no grief. You're not running anymore. The runner doesn't want to run anymore. So you're not running anymore. You're out of here. You're tired of running away, being chased by these villains who constantly come and snoop around. They got a posse of these people. They send one in after the other trying to get a connection. And then once they hook you, ooh, fish on, and then they go and they spread it around, right? I mean, hey, so you're running. I mean, you're leaving. You're traveling soon. You have no grief about it. You got somebody running. Somebody may see you as running. You don't want to run anymore. You want to go to a safe place where you can be certain that if you're going to open up your sacred energies to somebody, that it's going to be treated with honor, love, honor, and respect. You're maintaining control and persevering. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. You're not worried. Absence. You're not worried about this absence. You're going back. They want to come back. You're not worried. Queen of Wands is here, very determined to live her life. She's like, just get out of the energy. Just get out, narcissist. She's using her intuition to navigate these warnings, these red flags, these energies that are just foul. She's got courageous and inner strength and confidence to face fear with confidence. Yeah, she's courageous in the face of those who are guilty of messing with her. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They're a narcissist, and they're in the reverse. She's not dealing with this narcissist anymore, and they're not allowed in her mental body. God cut them out. He's like, nope, you're not going to go spy on people. You're not going to be doing that. You're not going to be tapping into people's mental body with your stupid little magic and then effing up their world because you think they got something that you want. So terrible. To get inside somebody's mind, to astral project and spy on their life and then target them. This is like identity theft and theft, like way in the freaking supernatural levels, right? And then you get people down here who are doing forgery and thievery, and they just let them off. They let them out because there's no punishment, because they're doing it like on a wise identity theft and theft of all kinds. This is an unexpected outcome. They cannot tap your minds anymore. Narcissists are out. You cannot come in and accuse somebody of doing something foul and then flip around and say how they're the greatest thing and you're ready to follow them wherever they're going. You just can't do that because it's an oxymoron. You're a split-tongued devil, dripping blood from your fangs as you speak so sweetly these proper words. It's sick. We've got some unfinished business here. The Wheel of Fortune is turning ×2, and it's successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. We've got unfinished business for the chaser who is in disagreement. They sabotage themselves daydreaming. They were lost in some kind of freaking fantasy, neglecting everybody they were having sex with. It's like just going in, effing around, and then, going on. And they're confused. Their values were all about money. It's like, wait, what's happening? They were committed to trying to F their way to the top and gain money through sexual intercourse, through this wanton, lustful disregard for the sacred exchange, right? And they're in regret because now they want to be responsible and fix this connection. And it's like, absolutely not. They were unsatisfied with responsible connections. They didn't want it. And now they're broken and shattered because this is just a low vibrational third party hoe bag who doesn't know what to do with their pride now. Oh, how are they going to remain prideful if they have nobody to F up? They want to escape the damages that they themselves have caused and that are coming back to them. Reciprocal. And you're going to get what you deserve. Irreplaceable love. Somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody's unworthy and they're being detached from you. They made a whole lot of mistakes. You've got a new chapter here and a reunion, and that's what this is. You'll be back. They'll be back. Like you're reuniting with somebody from history. It's like you've been resurrected and lifted up into an ascension. Like you get to go back with your higher vibrational, upper dimensional family. You get to come out of the valley of the shadow of death and leave these narcissists behind. You never gave up hope for this loyal union while you were here dealing with people with these habitual patterns in the shadows. You know, they wanted you to embody it, and you may have. You may have had to live a karmic life because they were running the freaking soap opera through your mind, making you think that that was your life, and it simply wasn't. It was a damn program, a software program being Wi-Fi download into your freaking transmitter receiver, your mental body. And it's sick the way that they tried to program everybody for their karmic debt and life. They took stars and divine, very sensitive transmitter receivers of the divine. You were supposed to receive that heavenly information and then manifest it into the world. And instead, you got these narcissists out there with their Wi-Fi technology and other crap downloading soap operas of karmic experiences into your mind and then driving you hard by messing with your energy and your emotions. People are talking about them with their dishonesty, you know, with all these secrets, these lies. And there's an understanding of them laughing and thinking how funny it was to hurt you, trying to get your destiny, your soul tie, and your soul contract. They're not worthy. They got to stay out of your damn energy because the truth has been revealed and they want forgiveness here. Or maybe you're getting forgiven because of the fact that you love yourself and you loved yourself to health, and the fact that you're a loving being is very obvious. No matter how these guys tried to set you up as being some hoe bag terrorist, you know, they had all these people out there wearing your face, doing blood rituals, orgy crap, trying to mess people up in this world, and they were wearing your stolen energy and your face, and they were trying to blame you as being a terrorist. And this narcissist is a lying sack of crap, and they're not even a very good illusionist. They are dried up. And they've missed their opportunity. And that's just too damn bad, because I certainly don't care about it. I don't care one bit about it. They've received glory for far too long while they've been stomping all over other people's faces and exterminating bloodlines. I just don't agree with these narcissists at all. I'm glad that it's almost over. I don't like them. I don't like what they've been doing to families. I don't like their arrogant, self-entitled, self-important crap. They've been running around here like they're made in the image of God, and they've been using that flesh suit, those hands, that voice, that appendage to create war with mothers and children and, you know, men that they deem less than. It's not fun. It's not funny. And it certainly isn't honorable. I don't have to be kind about it. I don't have to speak kindly. I don't have to speak kindly. I can say what I see. Some people say if you talk about it, you're gonna, the history has been sweep it under the rug and don't talk about it. The history has been don't tell anybody about this, you know. You'll bring shame to the family. And it's like, what do you mean you'll bring shame to the family? If people find out what you're doing, it brings shame to the family. Well, then why are you doing it? If you can't talk about it openly and transparently because you're ashamed of it, why are you doing it? So they're in trauma and despair because luck is on your side. They're overwhelmed really bad because they didn't grow in consciousness and awareness. They're not able to process on their own. They've been using you as a toilet for their crap. You know, you've got congratulations here. You're getting congratulated. Luck is on your side. You're the star. You're the rejuvenator. You're the supercharger. You're the energy that these vampires have been living on for centuries. You're using caution. You know that what they've been doing. You're holding back and you have no regrets. It's like vampire. Go, go out into the woods and find those little patches of strawberries, the little tiny ones, and then go pick a bowl and eat those. Okay? Just do that. No more siphoning the life out of the living. These are dead vampires. We've got explorer. You have no regrets holding back this explorer. Absolutely none. You're holding them back. You're not giving them any more life. You're not pouring your life into them anymore because they're dead and they're just a black hole. They just gobble it up and then wind up destroying things because they take too much and they don't produce anything other than this criminal behavior and disregard for the sacred. So you're the Queen of Cups and you're moving out of this energy. They're trying to spy on you. They still want to blame you for what they've been doing. They cannot separate you from love. This spy is going to have to accept responsibility for their own well-being because they cannot separate you from love. They tried. They left you alone all by yourself and without any support or any love, and then they stomped on you and you wound up loving yourself. Isn't that something? We've got religion and perfection. You didn't cut any corners here. You didn't cheat. You didn't do any of that stuff. They can't separate you from love. You kept on it. You kept on it. It could be that you're the new religion. Maybe you're moving away from religion. Maybe religion is trying to spy on you. They can't separate you from love. You're recovering from this confused sexuality of these deviants, and you're divorcing them out of your energy. They need to surrender their need to control anything about you, and it's too late for them to take any action regarding that. Justice is being served on the abuses that they have done to your most intimate and sacred life force vitality. They've been playing games like childish children with your sacred essence, and that's just not okay. It's completely irresponsible, selfish, and destructive, and there's just no reason that it needs to be here. We've got swift action. Somebody wants to communicate. They're coming up, that you're trusting that inner voice, that divine that guides you correctly. These people did not appreciate any beauty that you offered them. They didn't care about you. The more that you cared about them, the more they hated you. We've got objectivity in the reverse, and just let me read that because I always freaking forget. So these people they're not balanced, they're not stable, they're not rational, they don't have an objective way of thinking. They completely did not appreciate the beauty that you were offering in their lives. They just wanted to destroy you because they hated the fact that they needed you. And you're traveling soon. You're out of there. You're leaving this place. You're not in grief about it at all. It could be that you just don't want to run away from them anymore. You've been getting chased by these freaking energy harvesters for decades, if not lifetimes. They've been hunting you. They've been hunting you. Martyr. So you don't want to run anymore. The runner doesn't want to run anymore. You're the martyr. And you know that martyr. Let's see. I'm just going to read it for you so that you know what it says. LMNOP. The martyr. Time and time again, she sacrifices her own comfort and well-being to tend to the needs and wants of everyone else. And this is the last time. This is the last time. She's not running anymore. She's not going to run away, you know, knowing that these ones want to freaking end her life. This is the end of this martyr being martyred. This is the last time that she will be sacrificed to be fed upon by the dead. She's got protection here. There is a defense, maintaining control. She's going back home, and there's no worry. These people are, they're feeling her absence. She's going to be made absence. We've got leadership. There could be an absence of leadership. They didn't want it. She was here to help guide them, to rejuvenate them, to enliven them. And rather than become what they wanted to be, they decided to just destroy what she is. And so now they have no more leadership. There's not going to be any more leadership. She's going back. God said she never has to give it back. She never has to feed them her life force ever again. They're done sucking on that tit, because they're completely irresponsible and confused, and they're never, ever going to change. They have no desire to. It's proven. So Queen of Wands is determined to live her life. She's like, you know what? She's using her intuition about those red flags. She's facing it with courage, you know, because she's got a bunch of guilty people out here. These guilty actors and actresses, she's facing them with courage, using her intuition for the red flags. Yeah, because they're in a 5 of freaking pentacles, because she's no longer dealing with this narcissist. It's like, absolutely not. And they cannot tap into her intellectual property and then try to claim that as their own. See, these psychics, they get into the minds of oracles, prophets, and prophetesses, and then they take those divine messages, and then they go out there with all their little money, and they say, ooh, I'm receiving these divine messages. And it's like, oh, you're not, you little mental, intellectual property thief. Those are not your messages. They were never meant for you. And I don't know how you tapped into that with these stupid relationships and this dark, forbidden magic, but that sucks. You're such a bad person. Unexpected outcome. I don't care anything about you, you little jack. Wacko jack. Not one bit do I care about you, and I don't care about your little gal friend here either. I don't care one little bit about her. Absolutely the frick not. She tried to steal everybody's damn identity and F up their world. And I don't care anything about you guilty little actors and actresses. Not one little bit do I. Go feel the pain that you have caused in this world. Go feel it. It's your turn. Not getting out of it. We've got appearance in the reverse. So this is an unexpected outcome. There will be no appearance. They're not able to show up in your life. They can't stalk you in the mental body and then show up in your life. Like, they're no longer able to tap into your mind and find out where you're going to go, what you're going to do, how long you're going to be there, and then show up. They're no longer able to do that. The Wheel of Fortune has turned. You've got the cycle of fate and karma moving along. You're successful. You know there's no greater goal than to love, and we have unfinished business here. We still have things to resolve and to discuss regarding this kin, this foul, low vibrational kin that's spreading this confusion, this lack of care, this deceit. Yeah, because you're in your purpose. You're in your purpose. These people were pretending to be you, and they were effing up your purpose. This ancestry of witches going around haunting everybody's life path. You know, love of wholesome people visiting their homes. Yeah, expecting what? To get out of time? Time waits for no one. They were expecting more time. If they could trap you, they were promised if they could trap you and your ability to care for yourself, if they could make you invisible, that they would have this important limelight position. That's what the Ouija board told them. You didn't do anything to compete in this, though. It was never a competition. And the teacher, who wasn't willing to settle down and be responsible, did not tell them that. You weren't competing. You just accepted the hardship and lived through it, which is bringing a change to this grave thing. They were trying to offer change or make change by putting you in the grave. But your happiness and your ability to love yourself made you survive. And so you're here now. You're here now. And that was prophesied. It was prophesied. You are the person of privilege. You are the person that is here to be in service to others. And these ones tried to bury you and trap you forever. You've got forgiveness for your faith because you are always royal and loyal. You guys, you might have married some freaking wise guy in the previous cycle who decided to put you through all this mess. And now they're afraid because they were driving your life. They were puppeting you. They were puppeting you, man. And they're addicted to doing that. And they're addicted to your energy. And there's a backstory of this tribe entertaining themselves by driving you, programming you into failure, so that they could prove to God that they were more deserving than you. Well, they failed. They failed. I mean, you know, I don't hide it. God knows I have a bit of an attitude problem. Absolutely. And it's well deserved, you know. She's got an attitude. Yes, she does, man. Because you sexually confused narcissists have been out here playing games with the sacred essence of the womb, of the life bringer, of the mother, man. You've been so freaking irresponsible out here. Projecting that irresponsibility out into the world. Nothing but a freaking illusionist and a liar and a thief and a brutalizer and a confused sexual deviant. God, I don't like you. I don't like you. And I know you don't like me, and I don't care, man. I just don't care. So, because they're in a nightmare. Okay, so these sexual deviants are in a nightmare because luck is on your side. They're feeling overwhelmed. They did not grow in consciousness and awareness. You've got, congratulations, the hospitality. Congratulations, their cup remains empty. They did not do the work, and they could not successfully steal the reward from you doing the work. You survived all of that brutality. You're a star. You've rejuvenated. You have healed. You're using caution when it comes to dealing with people. You're holding back these explorers, these whatever these are. And you have no regrets holding back from this explorer. Somebody who wants to come into your energy and collaborate, explore. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What herbs are you eating? Do you eat? What kind of food do you eat? What do you drink? How do you get your energy to be like that? Nobody wants to share that information with you. Go suffer and figure it out like everybody else did. Go pick up the pieces. You know, the star, the rejuvenator, was always picking up the pieces when things fell apart, while this narcissist went out there and had a gay old time, happy with the suffering that they were bringing to the world. And it's over now. The Queen of Cups is taking her love and her light, and she's leaving. She's moving. And somebody, the spy, has to accept responsibility for their own well-being. They are out there looking and talking and doing all this stuff, but they cannot separate you from the love that is there despite the distance. Like, no matter how far they move you away from love, love is in you. Heaven is in you. It follows you wherever you go. And they thought if they could download all of their karmic debt, all of their nastiness, if they could project all of that energy of those orgies and all of this other shit that they were doing, that they could make you feel like nothing and just bury you under this filth. But love and heaven is in you. So it shines forever. And now all those people who layered you in blame and shame and filth need to leave. They cannot be here anymore. They cannot separate you from love, despite however far they put you. We've got religion, childish religion. These religious people are childish. They thought if they could strip love from you and move you far, far away from anybody who ever gave a crap about you, if they abandoned you to the cruelties of solitary confinement in the freaking forest with nobody to help you when you accidentally hurt yourself, yeah, they didn't give a crap about you. Not one little crap. Look how childish they are. They had glee. They had this great joy by hurting you for profit. Separating you from love and anybody who would ever care for you for profit. So you've recovered here. You've recovered. It's like these look at these. These are confused. They don't know what to do. Look, they have a vow of celibacy. Bullshit. They're confused, sexual, whatever. You know, I don't know what they're doing with their sexual energy, but it's not celibacy. You know, you got people out there who think that if they go out and have relations with men, that it's not immoral. You know, laying with a woman would be immoral, but laying with the brother isn't. It's like, it's weird, twisted thinking. I have no idea. How is that possible that they could think that, you know, having multiple women partners is immoral, but going and having relations with men is perfectly acceptable? I just don't understand the logic. It's twisted. They have to surrender their need to control you and your sacred womb energy. It's over. It's too late for them to take any action, and justice is being served. These religious people were childish, man. And you're taking your love and your move. Look, they kept martyring you. They kept freaking martyring you. And you're being very aggressive. Oh, yes, you can be certain justice is being laid out upon them in a big way. They're complaining about massacres and everything. I don't know what dimensional realm they're in, but apparently massacre is happening. God is not happy with the way they treated the mother and the divine shining sons, you know, the way that they siphoned their essence out to cast the illusion that these are holy men or whatever, you know? No. They're confused deviants when it comes to sexuality, and they've been effing up the whole world by spitting and RAPing the mothers and the children. Now, I'm not saying it's all religion, okay, but there is a faction. It seems to me there's a faction within a faction that has been doing shady, really nasty stuff. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So we've got very swift change here, and they want to compromise and work it out. But you're connected to the inner voice of the divine, and you trust that guidance. These people are not stable. They're not rational. They're not sane, and they have no appreciation for the beauty that you offered them at all. They just want to brutalize everything and harvest the energy and pretend that they're godly. The secrets. They're not willing to tell the truth. They got secrets, man, and they're bad secrets. They're bad, nasty secrets that hurt a lot of people. It's devious in the biggest way. So you're leaving. You're making travel plans, traveling soon, and you're not in grief. You don't want to run anymore. Look, they martyred you and left you alone, and it could be somebody's going to get martyred and left alone. Or maybe they have to leave you, who gave everything of yourself alone. They have to leave you alone. They have been leaving you alone. This card says you feel like you're alone in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like that forever. So the runner doesn't want to run anymore. You're tired of being hunted. You're tired of having to protect yourself. You're tired of these vampire, confused, sexual, lustful deviants tracking you down and putting a knife in you. You know, you're sick of it, and God is too. God is fed up, and he's being fierce and aggressive with this justice. I don't care one little bit what happens to these folks. Not one little bit. Many of you mothers and you mother potentials and masculines who have this feminine energy in you, because we all do. We're all two-spirited people. It's just some folks decide to, you know, really get out of alignment with that. Anyway, you, the martyr, who have given everything of yourself over and over and over again, you have been pouring into these people. So now we've got maintaining control. They'll be back. They'll be back. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. And, you know, we got the absent leaders. The absent leaders. So there have been some leaders that have been absent, and they're coming back, and they're eliminating the need to be worried all the damn time. So yeah, they're here maintaining control of this. You got some folks out there that are making sure that this kind of crap. No, this is not pretty. Oh no, it's not. We have had an absence of leadership because you've got these childish fakers out there harvesting everybody, and then walking around with this stupid little illusion, getting glorified, you know. Oh, they love praise, and that is sick. So we've got absent leaders, and we've got guilty, lying, cheating, and stealing. So there's been an absence of leadership. These people have been lying, cheating, and stealing. They've been pretending. But you've got the absent leaders are coming back, because these people obviously were not able to lead. They were not able to lead. All they were able to do was siphon the energy out of divine feminine, the mother, and then F the world over with their confused sexuality. Queen of Wands is determined to live her life. She's like, get off me, you freak. And she's got intuition. She's not ignoring the red flag. She's facing it with courage. And she's confident. You know, she's facing these guilty actors and actresses. She's like, you're going to go feel the pain that you have caused. Or maybe that's just God. Because she's telling God what is happening here. Oh, so they're guilty of, and they're feeling the pain from the damage they have caused, because Queen of Wands is facing them with courage. She's like, oh no, you are guilty of pretending, and you've been doing so without ending. You refuse to stop. They're guilty of acting and pretending to be others, copycatting others, and they refuse to stop. So they're losing everything. Five of Pentacles, you're no longer dealing with this narcissist. They're going to get in a Five of Pentacles. They can no longer tap into your brain and figure out where you're going to be, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and then show up and introduce themselves and try to get something going. Nope, that avenue, that connection. And I think they've been using medicines to do that. They've been using medicines, this stupid medicine that they have everybody in their freaking world on. Yeah, they've been using those as connectors and bridges to the psyches of human flesh suits, to the bodies of spirits and souls. And then they've been tampering with the mind and the energy and all that. They feel that they have the right to do it because they're using their medicine. So they own the energy of the flesh suit that is being kept alive or kept healthy by their medicine, right? They feel they own it. It's like a reciprocation. I keep you alive, and then you give me your energy. But But that's just it's a false manipulation, because they've got all these things, you know, there's so many diseases out there caused by parasites. And these parasites, you know, they cause all kinds of symptoms in the body, and they conveniently gave everyone its own little name, and then they made its own little medicine, and then they prescribe it, rather than do parasite cleansing and making certain that the temple is pure. These guys just dump in more and more and more toxins to cover the symptoms of this disgusting parasite leech that's in there, making the body sick. It's not health care. It's a manipulation into sick care and getting as much of this medicine into the temple as possible, so that they can go in there and then attach to that mind and then take on the persona and go pretend to be that, while they sacrifice the person with the medicine in them. They're getting cut out. They're getting cut out. They were ordered to cease and desist using medicines as connectors and bridges to the psyche and the bodies, the temples of people. They lost. They're no longer able to tap into your mind and make an appearance as though they are you. They have lost that connection. They got to go get a life, man. Go be somebody, rather than a spy and a manipulator and a sexual deviant. Thief. So the wheel is turning. The wheel of fortune is turning. We've got cycles, fate, and karma. It is turning. You're successful. You know there's no greater goal than to love. And we have some unfinished business with this kin of the history. There are still things to resolve and discuss. They want forgiveness. They didn't mean to hurt you. But that is a bull-faced lie, because they have perfected their practices of brutalizing you over centuries. They've been working very, very hard, purposefully and premeditated. You know, there's no "I didn't mean to hurt you" business about it. That's a narcissistic phrase. That's a narcissist saying, "Oh, you know, I thought you were hurting me, so I decided to destroy you." Well, I'm sorry, man. There's no forgiveness for this stupidity. And it's not even naivety or ignorance or any of that. These folks knew exactly what they were doing, and they're just very good at pretending that they actually care about anything, because they're void of a soul or any care at all. They're just religious. The only thing they want to be glorified. They want people to praise them. It's sick. It's a narcissistic ego feed. It's an endless loop of praise me, give me your energy. And that's what they've been doing. And you're leaving those people who were tempted to put you in this freaking crazy drama. You're leaving it behind. You're like, you know what? I'm out of here, man. I'm going far, far away from you people. And they got to face it. They're not able to get themselves untangled from this stupid little mess that they've made. You know, they're reaching out to love, trying to connect, but love is eluding them. You're like holding back. You're like, I'm holding back, and I have no regrets. You're going to go have to pick up the pieces yourself. You know, you're going to have to go pick up the pieces yourself, man. I'm just not going to do it. I got an exit plan. And you know what? They're going to have to go deal with their needs not being met, because they broke every single promise that they made to people. For profit, man. They would go have sex and then break people's hearts and steal from them their happiness, their vitality, everything. And then they would sacrifice them in the astrals and then leave them here to suffer while they freaking glorified themselves in this other realm. These people are sick. Oh, and succubus. Yeah, there's succubuses in the heavenly realms portraying themselves as these dripping vampire. You can see the blood dripping off of their freaking teeth, their fangs, as they praise you. It's sick. It's like nauseating. It's so nauseating. They don't even realize how nauseating they are with their falsity, you know? They think that, oh, but I'm saying all the right words. I'm sweet, I'm kind. I don't do any of that bad stuff that you do. But I'll praise you because you're successful. It's like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Just get out of here. So they're not able to tap into your mind and then practice having thoughts and feelings and, stuff as you. Get a life. They're freaking empty vessels. They're empty vessels, man. They have no substance. They have to tap into somebody else's mind and then pretend that they actually have a personality that has value because they don't have one. They got to go tap into somebody else's personality that they see has value, and then they got to try to mimic that and take on that because they just don't have that. So, yeah, their cup is empty. Their cup is empty. They were using divination tools trying to get your adventure, but they didn't get it. Their cup is empty. They were trying to steal your fate, but they didn't grow at all. They're overwhelmed. Like what they're trying to step into your shoes and they can't handle it because they didn't do the growth. They didn't do the work. They're overwhelmed and stressed. It's draining them. Congratulations. Their cup is empty. You are going into your fate. You are keeping your adventure. These people can't take it from you. They can't embody the energy. They're not you. It's like you are this powerful, loving light source, that turns everything to this gold, you enliven and enrich everything. And you got this low level, this barren entity, this narcissistic pretender that refuses to stop. They're in a 5 of Pentacles and they're trying to step into the shoes of a freaking star, Queen of Cups. And you've got the Emperor and the Empress there. This low-level narcissist is trying to step into the shoes of an Empress or an Emperor, a beautiful shining star. They can't embody the energy. They're in despair. They're having nightmares. It's freaking them out. And maybe your ancestors or your new family, because God divorced you out of this contract. You're getting a new family because you're faithful and you did things right. You didn't cut any corners. You didn't cut any corners. You didn't take shortcuts. You didn't make deals with the devil. You didn't poke your finger and smear your signature. You didn't do any of that. You suffered. You suffered greatly and you did it with patience. And you smile and you kept yourself together and remained responsible with your household and your life. Yeah, you're relaxed. So you're the star. You're using caution now. You're like, not everybody's going to have access to your energy. In fact, very, very, very few people most likely will. You have no regrets holding back from this explorer. They're going to have to pick up their own damn pieces. You're relaxed. You are relaxed. You've been picking up the pieces for this person or these people for a long, long time, and now you're not going to do it. They're going to have to go pick up the pieces of their own failed endeavor. You are the Queen of Cups. You are the loving, nurturing mother, and you're moving out of this energy. They can no longer tap and tag you. This spy who's been trying to blame you for their own deviant confusion and their own terrorist qualities in this realm cannot separate you from love because you refuse to take any shortcuts. You refuse to fall into South Node. Every time you had a challenge, you sat with it and then do what you do, right? And you've got this childish religious person trying to download nastiness into you and then step in and do all this kind of crap in your energy. And I'm sorry, but you can transmute that energy faster than they can F you up with it. So that's just the way it goes. God's on your side. And you got this religious fella here who's confused with his sexuality, getting divorced out of your energy. And God is being very aggressive with them right there, delivering justice. You got the lion. The lion is going to come rip your face off. You better stay away from that. You better stay away from that there, Queen of... yeah, because there's justice for all the conflict that you brought to her. You're being rejected and you're going to receive justice is what you're going to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's death here from her alliances who actually see her as trustworthy, honest, and true. It's time for these people to be cast away out of this loving energy. You've got people wanting to compromise for leaving you lonely and sick, for abandoning you and then making you sick. And there's evidence of everything they did to your family. To your family. They tried to exterminate your freaking family. Your bloodline. They were chemically castrating everybody. Altering their freaking genome with unknown CRISPR interferences and stuff. Trying to move you away from God. Trying to switch you out and claim you, and so that God couldn't, by messing with your DNA and your and all this stuff, man. It's so terrible. So you got this childish religious person. They're definitely not behaving as an adult. This is an overgrown child who's used to people praising them, and they're walking around like, I'm holy, but they're this sexual deviant who's been spreading this crap around in the world, this narcissistic entity having sex for money while pretending that they're celibate. Freaking energetic harvesting RAPist. Just because you do it while you're astral projecting doesn't mean you're not that. Okay, you're like a freaking invisible rapist. Can't stand you guys. They were bringing natural disasters to people. You had to survive it. They were programming everybody for failure so that they could deceitfully convict them, trap them into some freaking scenario where they could continue to abuse them and harvest the energy. They're causing risk. They're definite threats to society and definitely to every generation. So you're resting and relaxing. You're recuperating, making plans for the future. You're divorcing out this sexual deviancy. These people who are spreading confusion regarding sexuality. This is a sacred freaking essence and connection, and they're treating it like a prostitute. They're spreading it around. That, you know, they don't get, like, they prostituted everybody by not being willing to settle down and be responsible. These are supposed to be the leaders and guides of families, and they have completely failed. Absolutely. Not only in leading and guiding families, but in succeeding in their destruction. They failed on both sides. And now God is biting their face off, doing something. He's being very, very fierce and aggressive with this justice. The need for vengeance is in the history, is what God said. And he's being very fierce here regarding this justice. And there's time. There's nothing they can do about it. The need for vengeance is in the history. They're getting their shit handed to them. And their shit isn't your life of luxury or your reward or any of your life force vitality or essence. It's not your identity. They can't step in as you and appear as you. They're getting cut out of the field of consciousness. They will no longer be able to spy on people and find out where they're going to be so that they can conveniently show up and step in and get a relationship. Very swiftly, something is happening. There is a swift change. They want to compromise. They want your forgiveness, but you're trusting that inner voice that's guiding you. These people are unstable, they're irresponsible, and they don't appreciate the beauty that you offer. They're not telling the whole story. They're secret keepers. They're deceivers. They don't honor or respect sacred womb energy or that connection. Yeah, these are third wheel enemies. These are secret third wheel enemies. This childish religious person who could have potentially taken a vow of celibacy is not celibate. This person is a sexual deviant. They're a sexual deviant. And it could be that they've been teaching everybody how to be a sexual deviant and to divorce out of regular, responsible families. I don't know. They're getting divorced out. I think you're just leaving them behind, They're a secret third-party enemy. masquerading as some pious individual and receiving false praise. You're traveling soon. You're leaving home. They're leaving. Somebody's going away. You got it out here twice. You are not in any kind of grief whatsoever. The runner doesn't want to run anymore. You're the martyr. You're the one who kept pouring into them. They kept stealing your life and leaving you alone, without support, without guidance, without anything, without protection. They left you out there intending to leave you out there for an eternity. God is going to F them up. How dare they treat divine feminine, who poured forth everything that she was and everything that God moved through her, which, by the way, he was very aware of what you all were taking and what you were doing. He gave you centuries to get your shit together and become decent men and offer protection to the mother, and you didn't. Instead, you decided to twist the minds and the lives of the children and F up their sexuality and their future. Collaboration. So you feel like you're in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be this way forever. We've got collaboration. There is unity. You've got backup. You've got backup. You may not know or see them present, but they are definitely here working for you, with you. They are here with you in this challenge. And we've got they'll be back. There's nothing for you to worry about. It's like we have absent leaders. They were gone, and these ones, they were certain that they had locked them out, that they had shut down the bridges, the crowns, and all of these connections, and that they would never come back. They really thought that they had these absent leaders locked out forever, that they would never come back. Well, guess what? They're back, and they have seen that there's been a whole lot of lying, cheating, and stealing going on. These people are messed up. They're going to get messed up. They're going to get messed up bad. Queen of Wands is here. She's like, I'm not giving up my life, you freaking childish, confused, sexual narcissist. Get out of here, you energy vampire thief. Yeah, go away. Okay, so she's using her intuition regarding the red flag. She's facing it with courage. She has that inner confidence. She knows that these guilty people are actors and actresses. They're going to feel the pain from what they have caused because they refused to stop. They would not stop. They're still not stopping. They don't want to stop. That's all they know. That's all their freaking ancestors taught them, was to go out and pretend that they were somebody else while tapping into the mind and then flipping and copycatting them, going and spying on them, showing up, getting a relationship, and then flipping and copycatting them and stealing their wealth. There's an end to this. There is an absolute end to this deviancy of these narcissistic vampire third wheel enemies, these irresponsible, childish people cloaking themselves as religious, pious men. Look, commitment. They're bound to their commitments. They were committed to never stopping it. Never, ever were they ever going to stop. And they're still bound to those commitments. Like, they got something that's never going to end. They're guilty. They got pain coming for this, from the damage that they have caused for these actors. It's like never-ending. It's like a never-ending binding. It's a never-ending binding. They committed to doing this. They had centuries to change their minds and become protectors and, foundation keepers that would keep the area safe for the children, and they just chose not to do that. So they're bound to never-ending bindings, commitments of this pretending. And it's a 5 of Pentacles. Narcissist is in the reverse. Imagination is in the reverse. You're not dealing with the narcissist. They cannot tap your mind. This is an unexpected outcome for this person. Look, she's got an unexpected outcome. She can't appear as you if she doesn't know what you're thinking or what you're doing. She can't go around and pretend that she is you. So she's all upset now because she can't appear as you. She lost. They've lost. They've lost this connection to the mental body, and they can no longer find somebody and then, sneak in and then copycat them. No more. This is foul. This is the most foul business ever. Why are you here? Go away. Yeah, man. So they lost. Their magic is backfiring. They've lost. Their magic isn't working anymore. This is about, you come out and you be honest, transparent, and true. You don't go out there and do magic to force people to have a beautiful sexual fantasy about you. No, man, that's so sick. Why would you want to do that to somebody? Because it's powerful. I am all powerful. I can force them to want me. Yes, look, I'm so good. I can force them to want me. Dime a dozen. I can go have as many as I want. All you gotta do is this little magic trick. The cycle is turning on that. It's over. It's an inevitable fate. One cycle is ending. One cycle is beginning. You've got two Wheel of Fortunes out here. You are successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. There's unfinished business with this kin, this ancestry. They need your forgiveness. They are trying to say they didn't mean to hurt you, and that's a bald-faced lie. They actually perfected it. They fell into their own damn trap. They perfected their abuse of you, collective. They perfected and they taught people how to cause danger for others. Car accident magic, aneurysm magic, heart attack magic, Tourette's, whatever, high blood pressure. They're overloaded and overwhelmed, and they're paranoid right now because they've been busted stealing life and experience and potential life paths, because you persevered and you're shining brightly, and everything that you're saying is firsthand, irrefutable evidence and testimony. They can't deny it. It's so true. God can say, he can hear you say what has happened, and he can go look and he can say, yeah, that's the truth, and he's putting a stop to it. These people who've been networking against you are losing everything. It's done. They were causing illusions in the mental bodies and in the lives of people with these stupid magic curses. So freaking foul. Confusing their sexuality, interfering in their marriages, causing arguments between people who actually love each other very much, and making it so difficult that they split up. And then you've got to split up home, you've got to divorce, and then they try to deceitfully convict them of not being responsible families because they drove them with this stupid magic to mess up their world, And it's all backfiring on them now. They're sick about it. They're sick about it because you have gained. They were bribed to try to steal your life force. They were bribed to try to steal your rewards. And this is the end of that, because you are a good, moral human. You've earned a lot of merit, and these people are full of pride. And maybe you can be prideful, or your self-value has gone up because of the investment you made. You're going to get some land, some real estate, a beautiful partnership. Somebody is worried. They're making preparations. They're worried. They were indulging and causing stress for you. They really went over the top. They really went over the top. They went so far over the top that they broke their own magic. They broke their own damn magic. They went so hard at it, they broke their own. You know how when you're trying to tighten a bolt, but you really want to make sure it doesn't come undone, and you tighten it, and then all of a sudden it's stripped out. It just doesn't work anymore. That's what they did. So you triumph. You triumph. You're the blessing and you triumph. And now they want to apologize. Now they want you to care. But these people are getting separated away from you because of their vow to hurt you. And they're furious because you're coming into your reward. Their mental magic could not keep you separated from your family. See that line of this frequency going through the mind there? You're stubborn. You're like, no, I'm going to focus on my family. I need a new family. I'm going to focus on love. I'm going to focus on my future. I'm going to focus on what God has for me, not what this narcissist and his pretend little witch friends want to put through my mind, little jackwagon, you're getting a miracle. You're getting a damn miracle. There is evidence of them abandoning you and trying to make you sick, leaving you lonely, and just brutalizing you while you loved yourself to health. Absolutely. Now they want to compromise because you're throwing them out. It's like, get out. They're getting cast away. God is pushing them out of the house. And it's time for them to be rejected and made gone. They're going to be gone. Your alliances are, they're taking their sight. Yeah. They're taking their sight, which means this narcissist can no longer tap into your imagination. Your alliances are removing that ability from them. They will no longer be able to tap into your mental body. You, the gift, will remain safe and stable, and your life force is going to remain beautiful. You're getting a new family tree, and I saw that family tree. It's huge, like the biggest oak tree. And its light is as bright and potent on the edges of the newest shoots, at the farthest edges. That's still this beautiful, magnificent light. So your family tree is going to be wonderful and vibrant for generations to come. These people failed. They failed at dominating you. So those people who were dominating you and driving your life into misery, yeah, they're losing their freedom. They are losing their freedom because they were causing a nightmare for a high-value person coming into eternal love, who is eternal love. They're in trouble, man. They're in trouble because their profession was bullying you, trying to break you, trying to destroy your eternal love. And they couldn't, because you are. You know, and these are men. These are men trying to destroy the well of eternal love that is built into divine feminine. They don't want love. They want lust, and they want confusion when it comes to lust, because they want to do orgies and collect energy and do magic, you know. They like to martyr people, leave them alone, and then laugh while they're suffering. Brings them such joy to cause disasters for people. They're freaking happy about it. There is a sect within a sect. It's like, no, people don't really know about it. That is very, very nasty. The spirit said there's a billionaire church that's not really a church. It's a pedophile ring. It's a trafficking ring, and it's buried within. Like it's like within. It's that hidden thing that's buried within. So people don't really see it or recognize it. You're going on a freaking adventure, unicorn. You're getting your destiny, your fate. You're entering into your fate, and congratulations. Your narcissistic enemy's cup is empty. They did not grow, and they did not expand in consciousness and awareness. They're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. They're trying to step into your shoes. They can in no way, shape, or form ever hold that energy. They can't hold it. They don't have the vessel to hold it. They didn't do any work. You're the star. You're finding out more information before you deal with any of these jackwagons, these crazy freaking jackhoes, because you know what they are. You're holding back, and you have no regret. You're like, look, you're not touching my energy. You're a childish freaking natural disaster creator. You're a pretender. Look at this. Look at how funny. Oh yeah, there's an absence. Yeah, we got absent leaders. They're coming back to kick your ass, and they're being fierce with you. And I'm glad. I'm so glad for it. The children, the actual children, deserve it. Look, we've got trauma bond in the reverse. They're unable to trauma bond with you, or the trauma bond that they had with you, you have healed. So they can no longer use a trauma bond against you. You're the star. You have healed. You're the supercharging rejuvenator. And this explorer, you were constantly picking up the pieces for this dude, and now this dude has to go pick up his own pieces because you have healed your trauma wounds. You've healed your trauma wounds. They can no longer use your trauma wounds to mess with you. You're relaxed. You've healed. You did the work. Queen of Cups is moving. You're out of here. You're dimensional shifting. You could be going into a new timeline. Or maybe you're just going to like go through a portal or a wormhole and you're going to be like gone. You're going to wake up the next day and you're going to be like 17 years old in a beautiful body. All the arthritis is going to be gone. Mother. So there's a spy out here that was trying to blame you for their low life, freaking hidden, secret, third wheel enemy, confused sexual deviancy lessons that they've been teaching to the youth in the world. Oh yes, I'm a man of God. This is what I know. All about love. And they want to know, what does the mother know about love? And they've been trying their best to destroy it. They've been doing their best to destroy the eternal love out of the divine feminine. That's why they're so freaking mean. Centuries have gone by and they run around in these stupid little outfits like they're men of God, while women and children continue to be abused in the most heinous way. And they run around like they're freaking great leaders and shit. There's an absence of leadership. Okay, these people are lying, cheating, and stealing. That's all they are. There's no leadership. They pardon criminals. They put them back on the streets because they love the chaos that comes from it. It's their organization. They cannot separate you from love. You did not. You swallowed the pain. You transmuted it and alchemized it. You are greater than you were before. You added a lot of value to your soul. Something that these ones can't match. They cannot match it. They did not heal their trauma bonds, but you did. You did the work, Star, to heal your trauma bonds. You healed it. You freaking healed it. And they're dependent on trauma bonding in order to get anything to stick to you and make it look like they're freaking pious. They need you to act like a crazy woman, but you're not. You're an empath. So look, these ones have been being childish, causing natural disasters and reasons to survive for an empath. You're a divine transmitter receiver of God, and they have been running soap operas of foul behaviors and neglect and addictions through your mind, and they've been hoping that because they've been tampering with your energy and stuff and the people that surround you, that you'll just fall right into it and accept that role, right? But it's not you. The core of you is an empath, a natural transmitter receiver of God. And that's why they've been bringing so much misery to you, because this childish person wants to be seen as the man of God. And they're not. They're a third-party hoe bag, and it's a secret. They're out there with deviancy, confused about sexuality, and spreading it around with this magic, trying to trap people with their deceit and their projections. But they were not able to separate you from love, empath. Not with their natural disasters. You healed those trauma bonds. You're like, look, man. And now they have to give you the land back. They have to get, look, they're jealous. These love bombing, gaslighting pretenders, you know, all they do is pretend. They speak proper words. That's all they do. They speak proper words. And it all sounds so sweet, but you can just see the blood dripping off their fangs. It's so disgusting. It's like one of them sickening sweet things. Oh, it's so perfect. You just know it's like dripping poison. It's gross. But anyway, you got renewal. And you're divorcing out these third-party enemies. They're sexual deviants, and they got to surrender their need to control you. There's time. It's too late for them to do anything about it. God is being fierce. God is being aggressive due to the history. The need for vengeance is in the history, and it's right there. Justice is being served. Yeah, this child, this religious, whatever this hell this dude is, he's been causing natural disasters for the empaths, portraying himself as a man of God, using the image of and the title of this religious guide to hurt people, specifically the one who is eternal love, the one who carries heaven within her, the one who brings forth life into this realm from that place, that inner heaven, that she is to spill her eternal love into. And yet you've got this childish, religious, pious, you got to think just like I do, and they want to command the way the mother mothers, and they want to hide her up, make her disappear, and they want to take over the mothering because they want to teach confused sexuality and divorce. And they don't want anybody honoring the freaking mother. They want all of the glory. They want people freaking worshiping them. The truth. I mean, just look at the history of what they did with the little native children, trying to destroy their minds and their lives. The punishment and the graveyards aplenty. There is so many evidences of their cruelty, their viciousness to the babies. And they run around with that stupid little outfit on. Look, self-care. They're going to have to take care of their own damn selves. Justice is being served. They're being cut off. They're being cut off. Third wheel enemies will no longer be vampiring off of the love of the mother. They're being cut off. Legend. Legend. This is legendary. This is legendary. God is with you at all times. He is that inner voice that guides you. These religious people, they are trying to banish God out of you. They insist that this great light that is within you is somehow demonic. They want to tell the world that God's grace over your life is somehow a bad thing. And that's because they've been teaching this twisted sexuality. They're famous narcissists, this accuse you of something bad and then complimenting like you the greatest thing, like they do, like they're just a split tongue, right? You're a legend. You've brought this to legend. Like whatever this is, there's legendary status here. You have revealed the secrets of these third-party enemies. They've been wandering around like religious men, but they've been going around sexing up every freaking thing, harvesting the energy and disgusting. And look, and martyring people, leaving them alone in a state of suffering. They've been marrying people who don't need to be married. And then you got these men doing these boy bride marriages, right? Men, grown, old freaking men marrying little boys. Why? Because they take that life force. Makes me sick. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve to wear the life force essence of little children. They just don't. They're old, childish men. They're not men. They're not even men. They're just witches and freaking warlocks and wizards and sorcerers who have refused to grow up because they don't know what it means to be told no. If somebody tells them no, they just squash them, hurt them, beat them with that man suit that overpowers women and children. And they think that they're a god because they can do that. It's ridiculous. This troll is jealous. It's a jealous troll. They go out and they martyr divine feminines because these dudes, they like to have sex with their brothers. They despise the mother. They want to destroy her. They want to be known as God's favorite. God's giving them something right now for sure. And they're blaming the mother. They say that it's the woman's fault, that they're suffering, that then they want to get revenge on her. This is the twisted thinking. God's given them a spanking like they never had before, and they deserve it. We're not dealing with no more vampires. No more freaking vampires. You were maintaining control. They'll be back. You have no worries. The absent leaders are back. They know that this vampire has been guilty of lying, cheating, and stealing, and you're not going to have to deal with them anymore. They're going away. They're going a freaking way. Queen of Wands is determined to live her life. She's like, you will not take my fire from me. This is my life. Queen of Cups is over here. You will not take my love out of me. She's got the fire. She's got the love. And this is what has been fueling the freaking life of this planet. Well, these guys have been consuming more than they need and getting more and more brutal. So, she's using her intuition to pay attention to the red flags. She's facing them with courage. The guilty are feeling pain from the damage that they have caused. They are a personality, an actor, an actress, and they've got never-ending commitments. They have bound themselves to a never-ending contract. They were trying to trap divine feminine and her energy, her inner heaven. Forever. They bound themselves to a never-ending contract of guilt, spreading these conspiracy theories, telling lies. They're in a Five of Pentacles. Poverty. You're no longer dealing with these narcissists. They no longer have access to the mental body. They got to cease and desist using this medication as a connector or a bridge to the temple of others. This is an unexpected outcome. They can no longer appear as you. They have lost. Their magic has backfired. Their magic is backfiring. They're the new fodder. They are the new fodder. They wanted you to be eaten by some shadow demon. They've been working real hard to make sure that you would be eaten by that shadow demon with their death magic. They can't appear as you. They aren't you. Their magic is backfiring. They are the new fodder. And that's what God said they would be. He said they are the new fodder. They've been feasting on humanity for centuries, gobbling us up. Do you know, I didn't even know what it was like to feel alive until just a few years back when they removed that feeding tube out of me and I was able to collect my own energy and nobody was able to take it from me. And it's like all of a sudden I was just vibrant, like, right? And it's like, wow, this is what it feels like to be alive. I mean, they were draining like 50%, right? Causing obesity, organ failure, high blood pressure, depression. Bad people. But we've got the Wheel of Fortune and you have the karmic wheel turning. So yeah, and you're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. So there is unfinished business here with this kin. They want forgiveness. They're saying, I didn't mean to hurt you, but that's a big ass lie. They fell into their own trap. They fell into the trap that they meant for you. They meant to hurt you without a doubt. They fell into the trap they set for you. It's obvious what their intentions were. No matter what they say, the intention is playing out right now. Their intentions shall be their gift, is what God said. Their intentions shall be their gift. And they wanted you to be snacks for that shadow demon. They worship death. They worship death. And they wanted to feed you to that shadow demon and as a snack. And God said, no, your intention is going to be your gift. You are the new fodder. Vampire. You fell into a trap and you're losing your influence in this world. You will no longer have an influence in this world. You're a bad influence. You're a narcissist and you got to stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. Okay, because this billionaire status, this life of privilege is being announced. It belongs to the oracle. It belongs to the prophets, the prophetesses, the sacred, divine transmitter receivers of God, Goddess, Mother, Father. Those who receive the messages of what they want to be birthed into this realm. It's being announced. This is where the wealth goes. This is where the status of privilege goes. These transmitter receivers that are divinely connected to source, doing the will of the divine, that's where this goes, because this is what is needed to generate, to receive the message and the plan, and then to bring it into reality in this realm. And it's being announced that the prophets and the prophetesses, the telepaths, the seers, the divine connected ones, this wealth belongs to them. The feral ones, the feral fashion witch, this narcissist that's been tapping into people's minds and stealing their identities, they got to give the land back. It never belonged to them. They stole it. And they're triggered because you're telling their shadow demon to get F. They're all part of this hive mind, right? Of this shadow demon. And they're so upset because you're a star seed. You're a star seed, and this cult leader has been doing the very least to gain the very most. They've been snacking on star seeds, on light-bearing people. And they've been love bombing and gaslighting people who they think are a bitch. And so they're a simp, right? Doing the most for somebody who cares the least, and they're being warned. They're being warned, okay? They're receiving a warning. You are off limits. You are off limits. It's forbidden to do anything to you anymore. Humanity has received grace and blessing because they were set up. They were set up, programmed, and then driven into behaviors. And then the food supply was tainted, you know? I mean, you're not supposed to eat people. You're not supposed to be a cannibal, right? And so what did they do? They transferred their sin into the animals, and then they ground them up in the meat grinder. But that wasn't just an animal that they put into the meat grinder, because they got all these sacrifices that they're doing, right? They got to get rid of the bodies. The food supply is tainted, especially the ground meats. You should avoid them. Geez, this is almost 2 hours. Is it? Yes. I suppose we're good. The narcissist is losing their influence. They have fallen into their own trap. This sexual deviancy and confusion is going to come to an end. These childish people who have been portraying themselves as men of God while teaching people how to be third-party enemies, tap the minds of people, and flipping and copycatting them while feeding them to this shadow demon, because they worship death and they hate the divine feminine, because heaven is in her and it's not in them. They have to trap her in order to harvest that and then pretend as though they are putting that heavenly guidance into the realm. But you can see the suffering of the planet, and they certainly aren't serving the divine heavens. If they were, then it would be this. They were warned about worshiping death. Had a message about that a few days ago. They were warned about worshiping death. They were warned about treating the mother this way. They were warned about leading the children down this path. They were warned. And then they were given centuries to make it right. And instead they chose to get worse and worse and worse. So now they're losing everything. This is the message. I hope that it brings clarity to something you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.